Hello everyone, I'm Nate and welcome to the channel. Today we have something a little different here for you. Here's these little fidget rings. We're gonna do a little unboxing of these and play with these and see what they can do. All right, yeah, so I was in contact with Fidget Rings. They were on Instagram, I followed them, and I thought, hey, those are kind of fun. Those have potential. I'll have in the description box, I'll have a link to their Instagram page and so on. So I thought it would be interesting to take a look at these on the channel, and so message back and forth, and he sent me these over. They took a while, but they're finally here today, and so I figured we'd do an unboxing of them first, and then kind of mess around and see what they can do. Yeah, so here's what the packaging looks like, all right? Really simple, just cardboard, packaging. On the back, it kind of describes a little bit what you can do. It also gives you some, helpful do not tips, right? So you're gonna wanna put these kind of right just here on your finger, not all the way down like you were wearing a ring. It might get stuck. And they are kind of small. They're a little smaller than I thought they were, actually. And so you're kind of meant to kind of manipulate them here. Stress relief magnetic ring, okay? And that's what it says at the front as well. I think that's actually I guess that's technically the name of them, even though their Instagram was going by Fidget Rings. It also says creative decompression artifact. I'm not quite sure what that means, but anyways, they also come in a couple different colorways. They have some like solid sets, but I thought this would kind of be cool to kind of get a couple different colors and have them all in one set here, so you can kind of track them as you're kind of playing with them. So yeah, the idea is to have like one in each, all three of them working together. They click together and they kind of have like a rotational wheel. It says if the wheels get seriously stuck, consult a medical professional, okay, or go to the emergency room. That would be an interesting emergency room visit, right? What happened? Yeah, okay. So medical help is not available. Apply a safe lubricant like soap. I feel like that's the first step you do. I wouldn't go to the hospital first. I would probably try to get it off with some kind of grease or something. Anyways, you can try to the following and so on. Okay, anyways, but enough of that, enough of the warnings. So here's basically the things you can kind of do with it. You're kind of manipulating them. I think there's a lot more potential for that as well, to kind of just use them as a skill toy than a fidget toy. That's how they're being marketed, I believe. I mean, that's the name, right? Fidget Rings. It's meant to be sort of this like relaxing fidget toy, sort of a kind of a fidget spinner type of thing, but there's certainly more potential for skill involved with this than just being a fidget thing. Okay, it's kind of why I like Beglery as well. It is, yeah, it's a fidget toy really when it comes down to it, but it certainly involves a lot more skill than your average fidget type of toy, okay? So I think there's potential for that too, but the way that it's being branded, at least from their marketing and so on, seems to be that it's more of a fidget toy, and maybe they're gonna sell more of that, okay? You can also play sort of games with it as well. Since they're magnetic, there's some cool potential for some kind of fun things there. You'd have to get more than just these three probably to do much more than that. But you can do hockey. That's kind of fun. I remember doing that as a kid with just like some nickels and so on. But you can play billiards as well. So there's all kinds of fun things to kind of put them on a flat surface, on a table, what have you. Play with your friends, get a bunch of these. All right, let's get it open and let's play with them. All right, let's stop talking about it. All right, just figured you'd want to see the packaging a little bit. All right, so it looks like I don't think there's ball bearings in here. I think it's just like laid in there, okay? I'm not gonna break this apart. It would actually break it, but it spins pretty freely. Be interesting to see what would it look like if you put ball bearings in them. So anyways, that's the idea. Kind of put one on each, finger. Can kind of mess with it that way and kind of just manipulate them. Again, I don't know what I'm doing yet. Oop. It's interesting. Yeah, they're pretty quiet. You kind of hear the plastic rattling around a little bit, but they're pretty quiet. A lot quieter than a fidget spinner, that's for sure. Or at least the average one. Most of the ones I've played are pretty cheap, so granted, I don't really, not much into fidget spinners, but there are some high quality ones. I'm sure they're pretty quiet. Let's just try this kind of configuration here, and you can kind of just spin here and kind of catch it back into there. All right, interesting. that what they used? No, they used, that's it. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, all right, we'll get that. You can also do ones with just two, which is, I think, is interesting. You can kind of just see it spinning around there. You can, of course, add more than 3 here. Take some getting used to. But again, I could see potential for this. I would be interested to see like a higher quality one of these made. Maybe not out of plastic, but maybe out of like machined aluminum or something like that, to kind of take it to that next level. Something that had maybe a little bit more weight to it too, because these are pretty light. You can kind of manipulate them too, kind of more like a coin, maybe, where you kind of take it off and you're kind of, it's awkward because I don't know what I'm doing. So the pull on here is pretty heavy magnetic, but it's not so strong that it's like you're having to feel like you're prying it off and pulling it off heavily, where you can still pull those apart. So yeah, you can still feel like you can pull those apart, and you can still, and they're gonna keep together. No problem with, you know, you kind of can spin that all day. Now if I were to throw it, okay, it's holding more than I thought. All right, so yeah, not bad. You have to kind of still pry it apart with your fingers, but it's not, I don't feel like it's so heavy of a magnet that it's, you know, such powerful of a magnet that it's holding too much to manipulate them the way you could. There's also potential to do two-hand stuff, you know, just kind of messing with it this way. Again, you can kind of take it to that level of like, oh, it's a skill toy, or it's just a fidget toy. Interesting. You can kind of pivot these too, really, it's kind of nice. You know, you can, yeah, all right, pretty cool. Pretty rad little design there. So again, I'll have the link in the description here where you can get these and check them out. Again, I think there's some really cool potential for beyond just kind of a fidget toy, and which is that, right? It's good to kind of have something to fidget around with. But I think there's also some really cool potential for taking it as just a skill toy and just kind of learning to manipulate things and using creativity to do something cool with. So I'll play with these a little bit more, and maybe you'll find me flipping these around on my Instagram. So thanks Fidget Rings for sending me these, and until the next one, later.